What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're back on the Golf. Done a few turbo mods, i.e. upgrading the turbo soon, but it's not a direct fit. I'm having to sort of cut and weld pieces. I'll get onto that in a minute, but we're on the clutch. Clutch slipped a little bit in the higher gears when it got warm, so we're going to get the clutch out. Let's have a look, see what we got going on. So there's the KevTech clutch plate. It looks like cardboard. It's meant to hold more power. We'll find out. Turbo. Here is the turbo. So that's not my old one. That is one that's the same. I bought a used one because you have to chop the manifold. You can see I've cut it here. You actually have to cut the manifold off and then weld a new one on. It's not the easiest of fits, but we'll get there. This is the aluminium pipe that runs down the side of the engine. I've had to chop that off. It goes on at slightly a different angle. That is for the compressor housing. That goes on at a different angle. As you can see it now, see it's the same as the other one. Size comparison, you can see one is a little bit bigger. Exhaust housing from the new turbo is already tacked on. Welding cast iron isn't the easiest. I had to heat that right up. I MIG tacked that on. I've ordered some pure nickel arc welding rods and I'll weld that on. I'll have to run that down the road to get the alley welding done somewhere else. I have got my whole turbo and everything else in the boot. Drive shaft out, downpipe off, a few other bits. That's a fallback. If the turbo's not happy or something goes wrong, I've got the complete setup. That will go in the shed, I'll just put it there for now. Let's get on with the gearbox. We've got Pete here today, he's in his TET. We've just done that, I'm sure you can work out what it is. He has got a remap on Tuesday, live rolling road map, so his exhaust had been flowed out a little bit. Gonna get straight on with getting the gearbox off. They're really easy on these. 8 mils, 18 mils and 16 mils normally takes everything out. But as we've got one drive shaft out and the turbo off, we're halfway there to getting the gearbox off. So we're gonna do this today. We've got the Manfrotto stand set up. We're gonna get the time lapse on the go. Let's do it. Got the stand all set up, got the battery pack ready, and then we've got visitors to interrupt for said time. Alright, boy. How you doing? What's going on? Alright, babe.
Hello.
What's going on, boy?
Can you say hello?
Where you been?
Granddad's house.
Granddad's house. What you been playing? What game you been playing on the computer? So I started at 1:15, it's now 1:55. The boys did help lift it off. Box is on the floor. Not many tools, is there? Camera's still out on the go, need to stop him. Let's have a tea break and get that KevTech plate in. So while I was just about to say, so while the engine's out, while the gearbox is off, it's off for a couple of days, I'm going to clean it to within an inch of his life. Is there any point? No, but no. I'm cleaning it. So I cleaned it as good as possible. There's no grease on it. It's cleaner. I'm going to let that dry off, tape a load of bits up, and I'm going to put some wheelie silver on it. Just makes it a bit nicer to work on at a later date, a bit more aesthetically pleasing if you see it from underneath. But yeah, it's another little job done. So apart from the workshop being a mess, we have got a new flywheel. I can finally get on with putting the car back together. It's sat there unhappy, just pushed it out the booth. My drive shafts, I gave them a clean, and then I gave the ends in the middle a little satin black. They're looking nice and shiny. Gearbox, I decided not to put some silver on it. It looked a lot better when it dried. So that's it, she's good. Bought a new jump pack. So the Snap-on van came round today. Bought myself a new jump pack. Happy days. If you're thinking about buying a jump pack, don't buy that one off the Snap-on man, because they are not very good. And that black one's cheaper. Let's get straight into it. No time lapse on this, because I'm going to get straight on with it. Get you back when the box is on. There's no way I'm lifting that bad boy on my own, so I'm going to have to go and get some help. Oh, what a pain in the backside. So I've got, if you look online about uprating the clutch kit on a 2 litre TDI, BKD, all that, you use the Sachs uprated kit. So I've got the Sachs uprated flywheel, I've got the organic clutch plate. Plan to use my old pressure plate. Well, it turns out my old pressure plate, my whole assembly was LUK, so it's not compatible with what I've just used. I now need to buy something else. Car's not back on the road today. I'm walking. So it's like a week later, and after a bit of head scratching in the last shot, I worked out I had LUK set up, so it was no good. Got my KevTech plate, had to phone GC Motorsport, I think it's GC Motorsport, and I got their uprated pressure plate too. It's got some like grooves in it, which is similar to a drilled and grooved disc. Apparently it dissipates up to 10% more heat. Heavy duty friction plate, and car's back on the ramp. New shiny Sash dual mass flywheel. Mate, this is longing it right out. I'm going to get straight onto it. No time lapse on this one. Bang, and it's fitted. Hour and a half later, gearbox is back in. Just giving it a little spruce up under there. I've even got a new cover for the battery. Yeah, happy days. Gearbox is back on. Even got all the wheels back on. Got I've got the driver's drive shaft still out because the turbo's still out. Got a couple of bits welded. Don't know if I showed them on the last clip, so if I'm repeating myself, I do apologise. So I got the end welded on there, and I got the end welded on the turbo. Just waiting on the manifold to be welded to the turbo housing. I was going to weld it, but I only do MIG welding. And MIG welding is completely wrong for welding cast. It's either a TIG or stick. So the welders down there, they haven't rung me in a couple of days. Those bits, they rung me an hour later. Yeah, they are done. Come and get them. Sweet. Drop the manifold down there. It's been a week later. I'm going down there. Let's see what happens. Well, it has been a week, maybe nearly 10 days, and the turbo is fitted. Now, sorry, it's been a minute since the last video, but I have been waiting to get me turbo back. So let me walk you through what is going on here. Whether you're watching the channel, what is outside? Oh, it's the Snap-on van. I'll get back to that one. Let's try again, edit 2. Let's try that again, shall we? It's like a racket down here. Back to the turbo. I was saying, whether you're watching the channel because you're a subscriber, or whether you've clicked on the video because you might be thinking of fitting the GTB 1756 VK turbo to your 192 litre and wondering what's involved, I'll quickly run you through it. So you can see the compressor housing there. Oh, that's a bit of a funny angle. The compressor housing there, I chopped it, made sure the angle was right, and then got that welded back on. Also got this boost pipe. I cut it, changed the angle ever so slightly, and then welded that back on. The original compressor housing on the turbo is a quick release fit, and you can see I have got a T-bar clamp on it, a Microlore clamp, the best type of clamp you can get. Well, here's the old turbo. I'll quickly show you. Here's the old turbo, and this is the quick release bit in question. Now, they have got a clip on there. I had a clip that I had to cut, a bit like a drive shaft clip, where if you cut that clip off, pull that out, this rubber hose is a bit of a squeeze, but it does fit over the end of the new turbo, and then use a decent clamp so you can still utilise the original bend. with regards to the actuator, I used the original actuator and I used the original bracket. I just had to sort of angle a small piece and cut a bit of an elongation bolt hole on one of the ends, nice and easy. The oil return is the original oil return, as you can see. You can see the original oil return is just there. I just cut the braided part of the hose off and used a piece of the correct, oh mate, all this traffic. It's always when you get your camera out. Original fittings cut off of the old oil return and a braided piece of hose. I then bought some specified oil return hose, 13mm, Jubilee clip on the top, Jubilee clip on the bottom, happy days. Manifold has been welded to the downpipe. That silver bracket is one I made. It bolts to the bottom of the turbo. I should have done this with a drive shaft out really, but never mind. Made a bracket to hold the bottom of the turbo. I got the exhaust flange, you can just see from Darkside Developments. Thank you very much. I then got a 90-degree 2.5-inch stainless bend, and then I had a bit of 2.5-inch stainless pipe, and I've made my own downpipe, which is now 2.5-inch. Oil feed, don't know if we're going to see it. You can just see it there with the bolt missing out of it. I need to get that bad boy on. That I actually managed to use, and that screws on the top of the turbo. The original fitting out of the smaller turbo fits straight in the top of this one. Oil feed on, happy days. Anything you want to know that I've missed out, just send a message, drop a comment. It is traffic city today. Drop a comment and I'll reply. It weren't too bad in the end. Let's get it down, take it for a spin. Took it out for a little drive, and the exhaust tone is definitely louder. Obviously the exhaust housing is a lot bigger on the new one, so it is a bit fruitier. I have messaged Fadar. Fadar is a well-known PD TDI tuner in the UK. He's up north, Newcastle way. I'm all the way down in Deal in Kent. Hopefully he's going to send me a remap file, and then I can send him some logs to make sure it's all fine. So no drive out in it today. It does go all right. There's a bit more lag than the last turbo, but of course I'm running the old map. I have got a 4-bar map sensor to go in it. I'll put that in it when I upload the map. Drive out next video, I'm sorry guys. Again, sorry it's been a minute since the last video. I've been busy and I've been waiting for my turbo manifold to get welded. I did go down there in the end, but they were on holiday for a week. Anyway, have a look through the other videos, have a like, have a subscribe, and on this one, I'm out.